All right, what's up, guys? So today we are about to go put this thing in my buddy's shop. He has a lift, and he's gonna let us use it to put this car up on the lift, pull the transmission out of it, and see what the big deal is with why the motor won't spin over now. Which is a big deal to me because that means that it's not going to take forever, because I can't pull this transmission out here on the carport. I can, but it would be a super pain in the ass, and it would most likely be easier for me to just pull the motor back out and everything. So he's letting me use his lift in his shop, and he's going to help me pull the trans out. I personally think that the flex plate is backwards. I think I put it on backwards when I was in a hurry without realizing it. But anyways, we are going to go ahead and put the wheels back on this thing, get it off the stands, and roll it out so that way he can come pick it up with the wrecker truck and put it in the shop. So we're gonna go ahead and get to doing that. Alrighty, the car is lowered down. Going to go ahead and back this thing up, put it a long ways in the driveway so that way we can just roll it onto the wrecker and just back this thing off onto the lift. Should be pretty simple enough, so we're gonna go ahead and move this thing now. All right, guys, so we have it on the lift, got some tools here, and we're gonna raise this thing up and then get up under there, take the transmission bolts out, and back this thing up and see what the big deal is. I personally think that the flex plate is just in there backwards, because I recall the motor spinning over fine after the flex plate was on there, but when we paired it up to the transmission, it did not. So either the flex plate is on backwards because there's a beveled edge on it, and that edge is either hitting the torque converter, not letting it spin, or the torque converter is not fully put in all the way, like fully locked into position. So either way, one of it is causing the motor not to spin. So we're gonna go ahead and take that out and figure out what we can see. All right, guys, so flex plate is in place. I think we put it in wrong. It's beveled, it's raised on this side, and on the back side it's indented. I think the indents are supposed to press up against here on the converter. So I'm pretty positive I put my flex plate in wrong. I think the smooth face is supposed to be toward the motor, and the side with the weld marks, I think, are supposed to be away on the converter side. So I think we need to flip this around. I think that's what the problem was. All right, so we have the transmission out and the flywheel flex plate in. Turns out I had the flex plate on the right way. The problem was when we pulled the transmission out, the transmission converter wasn't locked fully into place. So I guess it got loose whenever I pulled it out last time. Let me get over here. The compressor just came on. It's really loud. But anyway, the torque converter wasn't bolted in all the way. So that was probably the reason why I was hitting, because it wasn't recessed as far back. So now we're gonna go ahead and try putting it back together and seeing if it'll spin over. So wish us luck. All right, guys, so we have the transmission put back in. Check this out. We got everything hooked up. The converter is bolted in. Everything's spun over and lined up fine. All the bolts are in, so that's good. We got the linkage hooked up. All we gotta do now is finish hooking up the trans lines like I was trying to do the other day before I realized that. Run the lines to the new cooler, change this oil, and then put some gas and oil in it, and it's good to go. We'll be able to see how it runs, how it drives, and see if I'll be able to make this event. So 2 weeks from Friday, got an event on the Gulf Coast here in Mississippi. Go to Cruising the Coast. It's a national car event. Hoping to have this thing ironed out, taken over there. I'm just waiting really to see. My main concern is if that new rear main seal I put in is if it leaks. If this thing doesn't really leak oil and runs and drives fine, she's coming down to the coast with us to go to car shows and run against some other cars and stuff like that, because there's always a few races and everything. But I'll update you guys. We're gonna take a little break right now, cool off, get some drinks for a minute, and just cool off for a minute and chill, and then we're gonna go ahead and finish putting this all back together. Oh, and I gotta put the drive shaft back in too. But other than that, I'll be good to go. So here's hoping to get at least most of this stuff done today. We may not get fresh oil in it, but the car should get put back together today. So that's the hopes. Stick around, stay tuned, and see what we can figure out. All right, so we have everything done on the underside, transmission put in, drive shaft. we're gonna go ahead and put oil in it, put some water and some water wetter in it, and then crank this bitch up if we can. See if the battery's hot or not, but updates when we have it. All right, so we got oil in it, everything is hooked up. I'm gonna go ahead and go back here, try to flip the battery switch, see if the battery's still hot or not. All right, so underneath we kind of sprang a fuel leak. We got a pretty bad fuel leak. I don't know, we'll just have to look at it some more, but that's all I got for it today. Pretty much everything's buttoned up and ready to go. We just got a really bad fuel leak stopping us from doing anything. And yeah, so we'll do some more probably tomorrow, and then yeah. All right, what's up guys? This is really shitty because it's being filmed on my phone right now. I don't have a proper ending for this video because I wasn't really given access to work on my car yet. Right now, it's still in my buddy's shop. I haven't been able to go over there to look at it. I believe he moved it back to my house with the flatbed, and the car has a fuel leak where the factory fuel rail bolts to the factory fuel line. So we'll figure something out about it. I don't know. So it's going to be the next video before we can actually see it and diagnose it. So I would just like to thank everybody that watched this video. If you like what we're doing, subscribe for more. I'm glad we got it put back together right this time. We'll figure out the fuel leak. That won't be no big deal. But basically the car is going to be up and running really, really soon. So thank you guys for watching and supporting this build. And subscribe for more and give the video a thumbs up and just check out the next video. Peace.